I want us to have fun together in designing this flyer in Pixellab right away. Hey, what is up? This is Goso here from Serene Art. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, and if you're old over here, thank you so much for coming back on this YouTube channel. We teach you basically how to design graphics with your smartphone and how to edit videos with your smartphone. It's all about smartphone creativity. So if that sounds like something that you are really interested in, then consider becoming part of the family, right? So without further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. Good. So in this tutorial, you're going to use three fonts. That's like Cinza Bold, we have Poppins, and we have Gelato Soft. Good. And we will use basically like three or four resources. Yeah, I think 4 resources will help us, right? So quickly, let's go ahead and delete this text over here because we don't really need it right now. And the next thing that we are going to do is to start preparing our background. So I'll go ahead and pick up one element I downloaded from the internet. So let me pick it up from my gallery right away. Good. So I'll change the size of it to a perfect square like this, which is 1 by 1. So I'm going to pick that one like this, and I think I'll just do it this way. Good. I think I'm okay with this, and I'll tap on a check mark down here like this. After that, I'll scroll through this and select relative size. I have to make sure that everything is 100%, so I'll leave this button enabled and I'll pull this to 100%. Then my image or the picture I imported will fill the entire working space like this. Good. After this, I have to go ahead and lock this layer. All right, I hope you already know how we do it. Okay, so after locking it, the next thing for me to do is to add some shape to it. So I just tap on shape, and after that I have to increase the size of the shape to fill the entire working area like this. Okay, and after filling the entire working area, we have to add the gradient effect to the shape. So I have to tap on gradient over here and tap on the plus sign over here. Okay, though I already have my gradients available, but I don't want to use that. I want to show you from scratch how you can also do it. So I have to tap on a plus sign over here and come and play with my gradients over here. Now before I even proceed, let me show you one thing. Okay, what you have to notice, we are going to use this form of gradient, okay, which is the radial one. Okay, we have radial and we have linear type of gradient, but we're going to use the radial one for this tutorial. So I'll tap on it, and you can see this slider come like it came to the middle. So with this highlighter selected, I'll tap on this color picker, all right, over here. That'll help me to change the color. But what I'm going to do over here is to reduce the opacity to 0, meaning it will become transparent. Good, like this. And after that, I literally have to change the color of this, that if I want. So I'll decide to make it black like this. Okay, and let's say if it's good for me. Okay, I think this is okay. Let me tap on a OK mark and let's see how it's going to look. Well, this isn't bad at all, guys. This isn't bad. So let's see what we can do now. Let's tap on a check mark and go ahead and lock this layer as well. After locking it, we actually have to import another shape again, probably a white shape. So we tap here, and this is what we're going to do. Good. We just have to bring it down here and make sure that it fits perfectly. And I think this is okay. Right. Now what we are going to do now is to go ahead and select this particular layer, right, the last one. Once we selected it, we can now go ahead and make a duplicate of it. So we have it over here like this as a duplicate. Now what we are going to do to this duplicate is go to the crop and crop it. Okay, we're going to crop it down like this and select only in this place. After that, we tap on a check mark, and this is how we are going to have it. So we have to push it down onto the white element at the down there, and you also have to make sure that it fits perfectly before we do any other thing. So quickly, let me push it down. and see how it's going to look before we do any other thing. And I think it should just calm down a little bit. Oh yeah, I think this is okay. After this, we have to go and reduce the opacity of it, so we are kind of satisfied with what we want. And I think 12 won't be bad, so I think 12 is okay. After this, let's go ahead and lock it and see what we are having over here. So good, this is what we are having, and we are still on a background. How to prepare the background? So after this, we have to import another shape again. So let's see what we can do. Probably not a shape but an image. So let's go to import and pick up the image. So actually I got this from one of the websites that I listed in my package, the designers pack that I talked about earlier. Okay, you can actually get a copy for yourself and watch the videos inside that package. It's pretty cool. It's almost at a giveaway price that you can actually pick and have access to all this stuff for free. By the way, I'm going to leave all these resources in the video description so that you can also go ahead and download them and use. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to reduce the size of this one, place it at the corner over here. Apparently we are going to work on it later on in the video, but let me just put it over there and I'll make a copy of it. By this time I'm going to increase the size like this, and I'm going to push it down. I think it should go down a little bit. Good. So over here we're going to reduce the opacity of it, just to make sure that it's kind of reduced into the background like this. I just want the laugh sign to be showing over there, and that is it. Good. So I have to lock the layer as well. I think we are pretty much done with the background for now. So what we have to do now is to enter the text and also bring in our other resource. Okay, so far we've used like I think 2 resources that we've used so far. So let me add 2 resources that we're going to use. But before that, I want us to enter the first test, which is probably something like, I think I have a copy of it over here. Okay, I have it, cocktail dinner, and I'm going to make it capitalized. And for this one, we are going to use the Serene font that I talked about earlier. Okay, at the end of this video you have access to the font, so don't worry. Okay, let me use a Serene bold instead. So Serene, I'm going to use a Serene bold. Yeah, I think I like the Serene bold. Let's check the Serene black too, but I think I'll go with a Serene bold, and yeah, I like it. So I may try increasing the size of it as if I want, but if I don't want, I'll just leave the size like that and position it at the middle here, and probably maybe bring it down a little bit. Good. So after this, I can go ahead and bring in my other resources. So these resources I equally got them from the same website that is in the package, the designers pack. You can actually get all those stuff at a discount price right away. Just check out the link in the video description and grab that for yourself. So I'm actually going to leave these resources in the video description so you can actually go ahead and download them as well. Alright, so I have it over here like this, and let me bring in the other one, which is the last element or resource that we are going to use in this video. So quickly, let me just pick it up right here and reduce the size of it just to fit like the other ones over here. And I think this is pretty much cool, right? So let's use the grid tool to see how they are kind of working over here, because we want everything to be kind of center aligned and stuff like that. So let's do this. Good, I think it is okay now. It is okay. So what I'm going to do is to add some kind of shadow effects to it, just to make sure that the downside of this stuff is working well. So I just tapped on the sticker, and this appeared over here. What I'm going to do is to tap an empty area like this, and after that go back, tap on it and scroll down here, go to color, enable the color, then give it a black color. All right, black is actually the absence of color. That's what we studied in science. Ajay. Alright, so that's just by the way. Let's go ahead and do this right away. I think I have to lock this layer so that I get myself, less distracted. So I think this is pretty much okay. Now we can proceed with other tests that we have to enter. So the next test that I'm going to enter is Valentine edition, and I think I have a copy of it already. So I'll just check my clipboard and see if it is here. Unfortunately, it's not there, so I'll just have to type it again. Over here, I don't really care about the fonts because I don't care about this one, either it is capitalized or small letter, right? Because the font I'm going to use, either it is in a capital letter or small letter, is the same effect that it's going to have on it. So quickly I'll come to my font, and I have to go for Gelato Soft Free Font. Okay, it is right here. Okay, so I'll just tap on it, and this is what I'm going to have, and I have to change the color to red. Okay, so let me do that quickly. Good. So I'll bring it down here and probably increase the size of it a bit, just to make sure that it is visible over there. So I'm just playing around it to make sure that it fits perfectly over here. Now what we have to do next is to enter other tests like the venue, the time, and probably something like if you want to reserve a seat for yourself, yeah, you got to call someone. So let's do that quickly. I'm going to tap on test again, go to edit and delete this. After that, I think I have venue over here, and I'm going to make it capitalized. Right, so this is why I'll use the poppins. Okay, this one I'm going to use the poppins now. So let me check if I have it over. So poppins regular is here. I'll tap on OK and reduce the size of it. I think 19 is not bad, so I have to push this text down here, and obviously you have to change the color of it. So I'm going to use something like this kind of blue black stuff over here and tap on a check mark. Then I have to first of use the grid tool and then position this well over here. Alright, so after this I'll make a duplicate of it and enter the remaining text. Okay, but then I think I have to reduce the size just a little bit, maybe to 17, 16 thereabout. Okay, I think 17 is okay, and after this let me make a duplicate of it and go to edit, then paste in the other thing. So let's say the time is 7:30 p.m. right, and I have to push this one to the bottom, and of course leave it here, and maybe actually push it closer so that when we enter the remaining text it will not conflict with any other thing, right? So I'm going to make a copy of this again, go to edit and bring in the remaining text, which is like reserve a table. Yeah, reserve a table. I think let me give a little bit of space over here between the semicolon, the colon and the number. So I'm going to push this one to the bottom and push it here. Then I have to position it well like this. Like I said earlier, we are coming to work on the last kind of thing I placed over there. We're coming to work on it, and this is actually the time for us to work on it. So let's use the grid tool and see how we are going with our placement over here. Good, so this is what I'm going to do. Quickly, I have to adjust everything to fit perfectly. So I hope you can see what I'm doing right now. And that's pretty much cool. So I can now come here and reduce the size of it. But before I go ahead and do that, let me lock the layers over here. Okay. I think I have to lock that of the Valentine too. And that'll be pretty much it. So I have to put this over here and probably make a duplicate of it, then place it on it again. But then I have to reduce the size of it before I place it, maybe just beside it, like this. And I think this is pretty much cool, right? So if you want to actually push down this stuff a little bit, let's say you want to push down the Valentine, you can actually, you know, push it down a little bit just to make sure that you are having a nice looking work. You just want to play around all this stuff. So you can also go ahead and play around with the layers, you know, over here. Good. So I'm going to push this one to down a little bit. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yes, okay, right. So now one thing I have to show you is, let's say you want to change the color. All right, you want to change the colors over here. You can actually do that very easily. But before I even show you that thing, let me show you one thing. Let's unlock these layers over here, which is, you know, the cocktail and stuff over here, and increase the size of it a little bit. Okay, you can see we are having too much kind of empty space or whatsoever over there, so we actually have to work on it. So that's what we are doing here currently. Let's do that quickly. And I think this should be okay. Let's see the placement. I think we have to place them well. So I'm going to pick up this and push it to this side a little bit. Then pick this one to push it closer a little bit, like this. And at this point, I think we are good to go. And if you want to increase the size of your cocktail, you know, dinner, you can equally do that. Okay. So after this, you just have to make sure that it is center aligned. Okay. So pretty much that is it. After this, you can just save the work. And like I said, if you want to change the color, just come to the gradient you put over here. You know, I mean these gradients. Just come tap on it, you know, and change the color of it. Then you see the effect taking place over here. You can change the color to any other thing you want, and you see the effect. You see how the whole thing is going to look. Okay, so personally I prefer this and, you know, this. Okay, so I'm going to save this right away, and of course I'm going to use the ultra as I always do. So I think pretty much this video is helpful, and if you actually learn something out of it, and if you do learn something, don't forget to hit that like button, then hit that subscribe button, and that's not all, hit that bell icon over there, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bless up.